guys, Matthew Morrow with MorrowInvest.com. I'm doing another walkthrough on a home that I've been looking at for quite a while. Finally got in touch with the owners, and in fact, they had kept a letter that I had sent to them probably nearly a year and a half. They had kept my letter that I sent. I found their home on the city's website and mailed to the forwarding mailing address, and they came back. As we walk through this house, you can see, just looking around with the camera, but I want you to pay attention to some things. Right there you see there's a crack possibly in the foundation, or it could just be the house settling. We would need to do some more research to figure that out. Obviously all the paint needs doing. This house, like a lot of houses, has someone that's passed away. A family member has then inherited the house, and they do not have the money or the time to fix it up. Depending on whether or not you wanted to flip the house or rent the house, and of course I'll talk a lot about that in these videos, because knowing why you're buying a place, knowing what your purpose is with the place, is going to determine what you're willing to pay for it, how much money you can put into it. You can tell that there's a lot of stuff in this house. This is very typical. World War II generation, the baby boomers, and their parents came from a different generation. You know, our generation is a throwaway generation. Everything we get is disposable, but they weren't that way, so you held on to everything you could. So when you go into a lot of these old houses, you might think they're hoarders, and they might be, but a lot of this is just stuff. People accumulate stuff over years and years and years, and so again, when you're pricing things, you're going to want to, some of this stuff you can't see under. You know, you can't get into the rooms properly. I can't get under there into the, to look at the pipes. Tell this has a large bathroom. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Tile is dated. Again, if you were going to rent this place, you might could just get by with cleaning this up, putting some paint over that hideous wallpaper. Here you see there's not only some mold and mildew going on there, but that's also water leaking from the roof. The roof definitely needs replacing. You'll see that when we go outside and do the walk, when I walk around outside. There's so much stuff in this place that you can't really get around to look at the floors, but you know, it's a no-brainer. You know you're going to have to paint. You know you're going to have to do carpet. The living room is a big, nice living room. I love stone fireplace. I was showing you up there some of those lights that needed replacing. There's a second fireplace in the kitchen area, which is kind of nice. I guess you could, as you're having your breakfast, you could have a fire going. These are the owners there. If you look closely, a lot of people want to yank out cabinets. The cabinets are fine, and they could just be updated with new hardware and paint. The little laundry room here off the side, again, if you were just going to rent the place, you might not even need a washer and dryer in there. The hot water heater's in there, and it looks good. Obviously, the carpet is terrible. She had multiple animals. We're going to step outside for a little bit. You'll see all of the hedges have all just overgrown. They've just taken over. If you're looking from the street, you can't even hardly see the house. It's very, very overgrown. This is in winter, too. During the summer, it's even worse. All of the fascia boards, there used to be a gutter that went across the front of the house. The gutter has been ripped off in several places and fallen off or rotted off. So if you're a lover of gutters, you can replace those. I normally choose not to. You see the outside does not look horrible. Oh, by the way, I love this oak tree. It's a humongous oak tree, probably the largest in the neighborhood. You see there the pitch on the roof is just not a good angle, and so there's a lot of leaves that get stuck up there. And whenever you have leaves and pine straw that get stuck up there, that's just waiting for water to get trapped up there. So you need to regularly clean that stuff off. because it'll just rot your roof, and that's where a lot of that came from. All of the privacy fence around the house could use replacing. If you were renting it, you might get by with not doing it, but if you were flipping it, you would definitely need to take care of that. Now, the AC units, you always want to look and see when it was produced. A lot of times they can look aged, but this one was only about 4 years old and could get by with just a service, because the lady had passed away and had not been in the house for quite a while. Sorry for the shaking around. I'm recording this on my phone. I'm going to go up here and take a look at the full house from the street. Again, that oak tree, you can't appreciate it, but it is a beautiful, beautiful tree that's over 100 years old. Now, saying it's a beautiful tree, you got to keep in mind that thing has roots, and a lot of times those roots will grow into the drainage that goes to the street. And so a lot of people don't like mature trees. You can see here the hedges have just taken over the driveway. All that needs to be cut back. Now, I love that, though, when going to a house when things are overgrown, because it just looks so horrible. But you got to remember, if I'm going to cut the hedge, and I'm going to cut it whether it's 2 inches or whether it's 2 feet, I would rather it be 2 feet because it looks worse, but I'm going to do the exact same actions. This tree that's hanging over the roof line there is an oak tree, so you don't really have to worry about it damaging the house as far as it's going to fall anytime soon. Oak trees normally don't do that. They don't break very easily. If it were a popcorn tree or a hackberry tree or some other, or even a pine tree, those limbs can break very easily. Now, you can't even see this, but back here, as I was walking around, I realized that there was a storage building back here that you can't even see for all the brush. So again, all that stuff, Eleagnus and vines, different things can be taken down. This yard backs up to a park, which is a very nice park that actually joins 2 other parks. And so if I bought this place, I would be putting a gate on the backyard as well, so that you could immediately access the park. Again, the place is painted so dark. I will probably, because there's so much rot on this house, I think it would be just as easy to just pull off all of the siding, redo the siding. Again, all the fascia boards need replacing. A lot of that is rotted just from time. Basically, they didn't paint the place as often as they should have. And then you have insects, birds, squirrels, rats, all kinds of fun critters trying to get in the house. Again, this looks like a big deal, but it's really not. Once you know what you're doing, it's just a phone call. Now, it is expensive, so whether you're doing this yourself, paying someone to do it, which, of course, when you use OPM, other people's money, you want to make sure that when you're doing your numbers that you're accounting for all that. You got 2 busted windows. People have broken into the house. Most of the time, it's kids, and they're looking for electronics and things, money, jewelry. Well, guys, that'll about do us. Again, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that's worth probably $120,000 after repair value. So you're going to take what you know about the neighborhood. You might pull comps from your local realtor if you were going to flip it. Take your after repaired value minus your profit, minus your repairs, and that's going to get you the maximum offer you're going to make. Always, even in cash deals, always, always, always do a title search. When we pulled the title, what they told me originally was correct. There was about a $15,000 to $20,000 lien on the property, which was correct. What they did not know is that there were about another $20,000 worth of credit card liens, and that killed the deal. So everything was in line for the price that we agreed upon. We were going to get the place, repair it, and then rent it out, possibly flip it. Once I found out that there was an additional $20,000 worth of liens, there goes all your profit. And you have to be willing to walk away from these deals. Yes, it's a great deal. Yes, it was not on the MLS yet. No one else had availability to it yet. I had direct contact with the owner. They wanted me to buy it. I wanted to buy it. The price was right, but there were liens against the property. So it can be just one thing that kills the deal, and you need to know where you stand on those different items so that you can walk away from the deal. Just know it is so hard to make money but it is easy to lose money. So you do not want to do a bad deal. Just keep that in mind. Again, you should always run your numbers. You should always know what you're doing before you go into any neighborhood, any zip code, any area. You should know before if you're planning on wholesaling, flipping, renting. You need to know what you're doing before you get into the neighborhood. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you guys will check my book out and the real estate software that is used by over 50,000 people in the country, as well as the small business software. Check out the website. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be making more soon. Have a great day.